I'm doing good. On the red side, we have on the red side we have their top laner is Kamabama, jungler is Little Leaf NTG, Fleshy in the mid lane, Castellio is in the AC, and Riker the Peach on support. That's how the meta is shifted right now. Kaylin and Varus are pretty strong picks right now, along with Zaya. Those ADCs have always been really pressuring the bot lane and also carrying out the games. Yeah, with the buffs, they kind of really decrease the AP ratios on certain, in terms of AP, Kai'Sa's not really that strong. But with the buffs to AD, she's overall really decent enough. Looks like we get the Swain pick. Swain is very contested in OCS as well as multiple tournaments. The Swain pressure from being able to. Oh, looks like we're back in. Unfortunate. Hmm.
I didn't unmute myself on OBS. So, for those who missed it, quarterfinals, RPL, winter. I thought I clicked the unmute button. International feeders, final eSports. Ooh, somebody's disconnected. And that's where we currently stand. Okay, looks like he's back.
Okay.
Thank God Twitch chat is there to tell me that I've muted myself.
Yeah, I thought it was me because I've been having problems before we started this.
Oh, no. Not you this time. All right, come on. Everybody's saying R. Let's go. Get us in there. All right, and we are right back into Champion Select here on the blue side because I missed the introduction because I was muted. Ron Swanson 8 in the top lane, TSM Batman in the jungle, Zeldin in the mid lane, Queef and Django Ultimus in the bottom lane.
On the red side, we have Kamabama in the top lane, Little Leaf MTG on the jungle, Slushy in the mid, Castillo in the AC, and Riker the Peach in support.
Yes, and we're just going to be running back the bans here, so hopefully they can get through them pretty quickly. Nidalee, Varus, and Zaya banned by Final Esports, and it was Sejuani, Caitlyn. I can't remember the last ban for international feeders. I'm not sure if you remember it.
Yeah, I don't either.
Sejuani and
But
Caitlyn for
let's,
sure.
yeah. Yeah, Ron Swanson getting that Swain pick early on is really strong for them because with how the Swain buffs are, he's able to just go in the back line and split off the damage dealers from the tanks, and even have enough AP to even burst down the squishies as well.
Yeah, and as well, it can be like flexed, which is really nice about that pick. Just in general, being able to flex it between the top and mid lane there gives you a little bit of that ability to play with the other team during the draft phase. All right, finally getting through the bans. It was J4. That's who it was. I couldn't remember it. All right, back to where we were. So, what are you picking to the Swain here? If you know that it's going to be mid or top lane, what would you try and draft here? You go for your jungler, your ADC, and support potentially. You get 2 picks here on red side.
Um, I would really try to pick their ADC and ADC and support right now, or maybe in the top lane as we had said, because for how Swain is, uh, there's not a lot of good picks against Swain except for the typical Rise, but Rise doesn't really have any counters. So in a lot of cases, you could either pick the Rise, you could pick the top laner or the ADC support. You can even go. It's technically for Swain. It's hard to really pick around it, so you kind of just ignore it and try to pick what your win conditions are over him.
Yeah, Camille, if it is a top lane Swain, I don't think that's necessarily the best matchup. Being melee into Swain really sucks just with how much poke he has. Potentially, Camille with the Arcane Comet and the W might be able to match up into it. We'll have to see if that is where it ends up going.
Looks like they might consider doing a Arden with Tristana pick against the Camille and Gragas.
Morgana, I think, would be a good pickup too. Might opt to go for the jungler though, as you've already seen the Gragas on the other side. Gragas, somewhat of an interesting pick for the jungle, as it's not been super popular currently, but they're going to opt for the Rakan, who just got buffed recently in this patch so that he was stronger without Xayah. Jungle Optimus looking to make use of those buffs.
A Jinx. Looks like they're picking in a mobile hypercarry. It's very risky, but if we get into a make into late game, it could really pay off and pretty much melt down their front line, and perhaps
Yeah,
even save themselves from the Swain that's gonna come right up a Jinx.
yeah, potentially could be a good pick as well, simply because it matches the Tristana late game damage, and currently the 2 picks you've seen are somewhat squishier. Swain does have the healing, but as long as you can kite him out, Jinx should be able to deal the damage to take him down.
Looks like they're trying to ban out junglers that can potentially just kill Jinx or CC her.
Yeah, well, that is one of the fears you have picking up something like that in the second round. You've already locked in the Gragas for international feeders. We saw them ban Sejuani and J4 in the first set, and now they get their chance to just tighten the pool even more. Batman, I believe, played Sejuani all last series that they had, so that's probably a big takeaway from him there. Is they also go for the Gnar.
Looks like they're assuming that the Swain would go mid.
Always potential. They're banning away mid lane picks though, which make me think that it's not their mid lane. Because if you already have Swain, I don't think there's any necessarily bad matchups that you're going to want to get rid of for him.
It's kind of weird how they banned Oriana because Swain indeed just destroys Oriana mid lane unless that she's really good at Oriana.
We ban away the Morgana as well. Good takeaway as it will enable the Rakan to get the engages.
Ooh, Janna stopping those engages pretty hard with that ultimate.
That is another one that can deny the enemy team quite well. Gonna have to pick up a little bit more hard engage than just the Rakan. On the Olaf right now, another popular jungle pick. Is gonna be locked in.
Oh, they're doing the Ornn and Swain combo. It's such a good strong combo because when Ornn ults, he procs up the knockup and Swain is able to use his passive and pull them in. And it's such a long range CC.
He can pull every single person as well because it's an
Yeah.
individual cooldown, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, that's kind of gross then. Does mean that they showed that the Swain is mid now, so they get the chance to have Slushy pick whatever he thinks is the counter to the Swain. Gonna be the Talia. Okay. So we have the two finalized comps here. Looking like a pretty crazy run at you comp from Final Esports. A bit more team fight oriented from the side of International Feeders. I'm not sure what you think of these two comps here.
International Feeders is playing more of a pick comp or a sake that they're trying to get their bot lane not to like fall off completely. Because right now, in terms of Jinx and Janna, they don't have such the best lane for the sake that it's more passive. Janna could turn it around and try to abuse her WAP ratio, but overall, if Olaf comes, it's pretty hard for Janna and Jinx to stop the Olaf, especially when he gets 6.
That's very true. They could potentially look to make some plays in the early game against the Tristana. Ana as well. If they can set up the gank for Gragas, Body Slam Flash, always a very useful tool. For the level 3, level 4 ganks, even come with level 6 if you can get it before Olaf. If you can get that Jinx ahead, it'll be very hard to gank for your bottom lane.
Looks like Talia opted in for the teleport instead of the heal. Looks like they're trying to match with the Swain.
Kind of an interesting one. I guess heal did just get nerfed, so in some sense, or that could make some sense, I suppose. With the ultimate, though, I'm not sure you necessarily need it specifically for Talia.
I wonder how they're gonna make the Camille Gragas work. You don't usually see those paired up.
Could provide some good ganks to top lane early, which is definitely what you want to do for that Camille. Get her ahead early. She should be able to deal with the Ornn with her additional true damage on her Q. I think that's also the lane you're going to want to see Olaf in early as well. Can get some pre-6 ganks down there. Heated uses of the Undertow.
Looks like international feeders really have to play that early game with their just traveling around the map and um, trying to out macro blue side. They have a whole bunch of good strong team fights. Especially when you get into late game, you have the Rakan just engaging with the Ornn, and in the sake for international feeders, they don't really have such a good comp to really stop that engage, except for Janna. But Janna can pretty much only stop one person with which is Rakan, but they can't stop the Ornn ult. So then they'll be highly mispositioned unless Gragas uses his ult, but then he loses so much pressure.
Certainly on international feeders for the mid game as well. Making use of the Talia teleport and Weaver's wall. Blocking off escapes and setting up advantageous team fights for them. Taking control of objectives and knocking down towers. Certainly something you can do with Jinx as well. Based on these two comps, which one would you favor?
I really like the team comp that Blue Side has. They have, for what it is, like Swain and Ornn is just completely insane. Like, Ornn most likely is going to win against Camille. Camille doesn't really have as much of a good 1v1 potential unless she reads mid to late game. But right now, Ornn would have the advantage. Gragas has advantage over Olaf since Olaf needs to really land that Q, and if they play with good positioning, it'll be really hard for Olaf to really make a potential gank. Swain should have an even lane. It's pretty much an overall push since Talia has the Q, but Swain has the Q as well. But his early Q is not really that strong for the sake that for it to deal damage on the whole wave, it has to pierce it. And if Talia plays the lane correctly, it's hard for him. That's why most Swains opt for the materializer. For bot lane, it's most likely going to be pretty even. Janna's gonna try to counter the Rakan as much as possible, and I guess they'll try to look for a play with the jungler on bot lane.
Should be a good game. One issue that was apparent in the last few times that we've seen Final Esports play is that they have a fairly good. Why am I getting these? Oh god. Just getting tips for how to use the um okay. Anyways, Final Esports in the past few can you pause it 5 seconds by the way? Forgot to mention that.
Sure.
The past few outings they've had, they have a fairly good early game, but then they throw away any lead they get into the mid game and end up losing the game to the other team simply because they can't keep control of the mid game macro heading into the late game. You paused at 5 seconds then?
What's your time right now?
At 5 seconds.
No, I'm saying like, what's your time right now? Just to make sure I did pause it for 5 seconds.
5 seconds?
What's your game time right now?
5 seconds.
Oh, okay. Oh, I thought you meant stop it for 5 seconds. Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
no, 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 no.
Okay.
No, no. If you can just get back to 5 seconds, we
Okay,
can make sure
got
we're
it.
in sync then. Awesome. All right. And then 3, 2, 1. All right, and we are on to Summoner's Rift here now for Game 1 of this best-of-3 series between Final Esports and International Feeders. Let us know in the chat who you think is going to be winning this one. This will decide who goes on to face Cetric Gaming, who had a fantastic series last week.
Looks like both teams are doing the 5 pillars, stopping for any type of shenanigans with the enemy jungler.
Yeah, no crazy level 1s from either team here. Nobody has like a Braum or an Alistair to really set up the big plays for their team. Play it safe instead. Do see that minion dematerializer that you talked about on the Swain as well. Has also picked up the Dragon Master skin. Jinx doesn't have a potion.
Oh. Did she Nope, looks like she just didn't buy it.
That still has the 50 gold. I don't know if that's just greed or forgot about it, but that's like pretty significant. That's a lot of early health that you're not going to have.
Let's just hope they don't get punished too much for that.
Hopefully not. We're going to have to see how this ends up going. Against the Rakan Tristana, you can, like, if they get level 2 first, that's going to be really difficult for them to lane against without that potion.
Well, looks like Rakan might be planning for a cheese. Oh, never mind. Looks like they stopped.
They didn't leash either. Olaf starting for the blue buff. I mean, they get the shove early. They're going to hit level 2 first as well. Already on to those melee minions. Full wave cleared.
Looks like Olaf is going to do a level 3 clear. Most likely going to go for the Scuttle Crab and try to press your dragon.
Django. Potentially a little bit too deep with that there. Take some damage from the tower.
Looks like top is pretty even.
First dragon as well is an Infernal Dragon. Have to keep track of that. See which team is going to go for that one first, as it'll be really important for both their comps.
Looks like Ornn is now starting to gain that advantage over the Camille.
Up a couple CS currently. Gragas is on the top side. Little Leaf might potentially be looking for a gank. Is standing on top of ward.
Like, he does not realize. He's probably gonna go end up and take the Scuttle Crab.
Most likely cause there, as you can see in Body Slam on. Showing top lane for that long, though, means Olaf gets to steal the Gromp away from him.
Yeah. And also being able to get the pressure bot lane, as well as getting that Inferno pressure. With how it is, then Tristana can just keep on abusing this weak lane, especially when Janna went the gold coin instead of the Spell Thief, so she's probably gonna go for the E-bot type playstyle.
Yeah, I kind of dislike this, especially when you're against Rakan. I feel like the Ron Swanson going in deep, pretty low on mana. Ooh, gank in the bot lane. Is going to land the knock-up onto both of them. Castilio's trying to get away. Going to have to expend the flash from Riker Peach. Everybody will make it out alive. Gank going on in the top lane to come up against this. Kamabama going to be trying to secure this one. Does land the W. Is just going to be able to secure it with the auto. First blood going over to Kamabama.
Yeah, that must have been a miscalculation on Ron Swanson's part.
Another fight in the bottom lane here. Heal going to have to be expended. Queef trying to put down the damage. Going to have to back off from the exhaust. Overall, a good trade for the bottom lane of Final Esports.
Yeah, for Ron Swanson, it seems to be a miscalculation. Looks like he was trying to try to use all his mana, and then use his passive to grab a ruby or a sapphire crystal. But it looks like they came with the gang too early.
Yeah, somewhat unfortunate, especially as Ornn, you really want to abuse that in the early laning phase, as the extra items you get just give you such a big advantage before the other laner can back. Obama now up an entire level. On Swanson going to be trying to go in onto him. Does land the knock-up. Bella's Breath going to give him a little bit of extra damage, trying to back off from Kamabama. Little Leaf might be caught out here as well, and the river is going to get knocked up. Jump in from Queef, going to be trying to lay down the damage. Auto's coming down, should be able to secure it here. TSM Batman with a flash in and the axe to secure it.
Looks like the Taliyah was not able to go and help his jungler, and as well as bot lane being pushed in, they can't really do much. So it was just a mispositioning over the Gragas.
Bit greedy from TSM Batman, I think, to jump in for the steal there. But they did manage to secure it because of it.
Looks like the potion of Jinx is really struggling with her, since with the Tristana, the Jinx has to play safe, or else she has to back, and that's probably why she is really scared to take any trades, especially with that CS difference.
Got 45 to 28 in the bottom lane. I don't know if that's just attributed to the lack of mana potion. Castilio's fairly high on health currently, but it could be part of the reason. I like that Django has opted for the additional biscuits as well. It's a pretty nice adaptation, especially going against the Janna, who you expect to go for that W max. Taking stock of the other lanes. A little bit of an advantage for Zeldin currently in the mid lane. Top lane, fairly even in CS, but the first blood over to Kamabama does put him in the driver's seat a little bit.
Looks like both sides have went for the aggressive jungle item.
Yeah, both of them getting the red smite. Let's stop Ron Swanson's recall. Gonna be a good amount of damage returned onto him though. The Bell's Breath doing a lot of work. Olaf is coming up here as well. Kamabama might be in a bad spot. Uses the Hextech ultimatum, trying to get the kill on Ron Swanson. Gonna have to run away. ESM Batman is here. Gonna flash the first axe and get the hook shot away.
Looks like Gragas might consider doing a gank bot. He's pathing away, or he's gonna reach both the Rakan and the Swain. There's some really good warding by blue side, especially when they have both control wards, one in the bot side bush and one in I think two control wards in the river bush, trying to get that pressure on Inferno, and especially plan with the Olaf to eventually path down and take that Inferno.
I was going to comment on it on the top side as well. They actually have superb vision control. It's kind of died off now, but they had 3 wards in the top lane to give Ron Swanson the safety. And it also gave Olaf the path to come in. Slushy. Did take a little bit of chunk there. Knockup is going to land on Casilios. They're level 6 here, both of them. Going to try and pick up the kill potentially. Not quite enough damage yet. Olaf is on the dragon.
It looks like they're gonna take this Inferno completely on. It doesn't seem they even realize it. They do have a missing ping, but they don't seem to have quick enough reactions to this, and it's just probably just gonna go over to Batman's ping.
Yeah, not much you can do to contest it after that nice trade from the bottom lane of Final Esports, chunking Castillo's down. Mid lane, still about where we last checked into it.
Looks like
Not anymore. Unstoppable TSM Batman trying to get in here. Flash in from Django Ultimus. Gonna land the knockup. Is gonna secure the kill onto Little Leaf. Flash away from Slushy. Gonna save his life. Ignite ticking down. Kamabama going on Ron Swanson in the top lane here. Does have the Hextech Ultimatum available again. Chooses not to use it quite yet.
Looks like the team comp built by International Theaters, it seems to just be too slow.
Oh, Casilios. Nice flash away to get away from Django Ultimus' knockup.
Looks like the Rakan roaming, and as well as having Olaf, they're just completely pushing over the passiveness of the bot lane as well as the enemy jungler.
Yeah, Django really doing a good job of using the additional range that he's gotten in this patch to get in from max range and try and set up those knockups.
Looks like Talia is also not using her ult, which is really devastating for their bot lane, who's always been pushed out.
Yeah, she's been denied a lot by this Swain pick. Normally you wouldn't expect Swain to be able to push in the Italia, but making effective use of the minion dematerializers.
Looks like Olaf is getting this gutter crab. We might even see a Rotero take. It doesn't seem that for International Speedways, they don't really have any ward coverage in the river.
Yeah, they don't really have any ward coverage in general. It looks like 3 wards on the map currently, and one of them is on their own jungle.
Oh, it looks like Talia's moving path up.
Is gonna go on Swanson. He can just break the wall. Is gonna be jumped onto by Olaf. Too much damage with the Unstoppable. Just gonna run him over. Ron Swanson using Call of the Forge God is gonna land the knockup. Kamabama. He'll fall as well as Django Ultimus scares away Little Leaf.
As you can see that the superior comp with the Orin, Swain, as well as Olaf, they're just out damaging anything that Talia could put out, as well as Camille.
Yeah, Olaf has so much damage in the early game as well, and with the completed Cinderhawk, it's so difficult to do damage to him. I'm surprised Ron Swanson didn't just break the Weaver's Wall, as he can do that with his E.
Maybe that's just an interaction. It's a pretty weird interaction.
Yeah, I might just not have thought of it, as it's not typically one that comes up when you're playing Ornn. Go Ultimus back in the bottom lane. Little Leaf is hovering around the bottom side in the river. So if you're International Feeders, you're a little bit behind now. It's ballooned to about 2k gold lead now for Final Esports. How do you stop the bleeding, get back into this game?
I would really try to prioritize the roaming potential from the Camille and Gragas, for the sake that since Camille has indeed lost her first blood turret, she could either have 2 options, which is push top, or as well as just come in and go mid lane and try to gank the Swain. Gragas can do it as well and try to gank the bot lane. They don't seem to be really putting any of the pressure despite their team building.
Yeah, do have the double teleport as well. Interesting to see that they haven't really used that for anything. Obama just getting out traded by Ron Swanson currently. Is trying to trade it fully back. Uses the hook shot in, but gonna get knocked up by Ron Swanson. This is in the middle of the wave. He's gonna use the ultimate. Looks to land the Forge God. Nice dodge with the Hextech ultimatum. Kamabama extremely low. Is gonna end up falling anyways to Ron Swanson. Very nicely played.
Looks like that brittle damage was just too much for the Camille to handle.
Yeah, it was a super nice dodge on the call of the Forge God as well. Really unfortunate that ended up falling anyways. Just too much HP damage. Picked up a Ninja Tabby as well. I don't think that's really the right choice into the enemy team comp. A lot of Olaf's damage to you is going to be true. And the only like real AD damage is Tristana, because all of Ron Swanson's damage to you is going to be primarily magic. Zeldin as well, full magic damage.
So Khan might be.
Just trying to 1v1 the jungle.
Looks like he was just going solo there.
Might be able to at this point. He's the same level as Little Leaf. Kinda sad. Little Leaf just getting bullied around his own jungle at 0-2 now. Slushy. Does manage to avoid another grasp. Django Ultimus taking a little bit of return damage from Riker the Peach. Little Leaf is here. Slow gonna land onto Queef. Does have the rocket jump to try and get away. The Flash Monsoon isn't gonna bring him back. Flash away from Queef and the ultimate will get him to safety. Ron Swanson completes the TP as well. Oh, Talia uses the ultimate, does end up getting locked up by Django Ultimus, and TSM Batman's going to secure that kill. Django quite low, but going to be flashing in, has no cooldowns to use, is going to get knocked in by the explosive cask, literally very low. TSM Batman trying to get in there. Ron Swanson tanking the turret, is going to get the knock up onto Castillos. They're all so extremely low. Oh, the rocket going to come in from Castillos, not quite going to secure the kill. Kamabama has completed the TP, lands the hook shot onto Django Ultimus, but gets knocked up in return. TSM Batman trying to get away. Very low. Little Leaf almost dropping to Queef. Firing away. Does manage to secure one kill. They secure a second. Final eSports picking up the kills here as they secure a tower in the mid lane. Zeldin does complete the teleport, and everyone is falling for the side of International Feeders.
That was pretty weird. As we can see that all of them were low. It looks like they were all targeting different targets all at once. It wasn't really focusing any of them.
Yeah, it just seemed to be a lack of coordination from both teams, and that it looked so much like it was about to turn in the favor of International Feeders, but they just couldn't secure the kills.
I guess that might have been also a cause of the blunder earlier when Vijana went for a flash insect to move the Tristana into the Gragas, but it looks like they did not plan it correctly since the Gragas did not react at all and Tristana was just able to ult the Gragas away.
Yeah, the rocket jump as well, I don't think that Riker the Peach really calculated just how far it would go, because it was right on the edge of where he would have completely knocked him back. Really unfortunate play for them.
Looks like right now, International Feeders have been playing really reactive and not really consider making plays.
They have secured Runans for Castillos. I don't know if that's enough to really do anything, but it does give you a little bit of extra wave clear. So do you send a mid now? You've got the bottom lane turret destroyed. It looks like they're actually doing that. Never mind, just ignore me.
Most likely they're probably going to pressure around with Herald. There's not really much for bot to do, because they can't really overextend and hit the bot turret, especially with how they have not really the best ward coverage. Especially with how the team comp of blue side, they have a really good engage comp, so it's really scary for Janna and Jinx to just split push right now.
Yeah, the double TP as well really seems like it's not going to be as effective now. You're matched by Zeldin and Ron Swanson, who are both extremely strong at this point. Ron Swanson down in CS, but still 3-2.
Looks like they're gonna... You know, interesting how they put the Ornn bot. It definitely does not have a teleport.
Yeah, they're
but it
still
looks like
gonna.
they're not really gonna get punished.
No, they're just gonna be able to secure this. Django Ultimate's playing defense, and Riker gonna have to back off. Oh, uses the Monsoon actually to try and get away. The root gonna land from Zeldin. Nice knock up from Django. Gets it just in time.
Then you see that Jenna still doesn't have her wards.
Yeah.
Really
Ouch.
behind.
I didn't even notice that. That is painful. How was Riker that far behind? Holy. Oh no, it is earned. It just looks like it's a bug. And you can't actually see the wards. Okay. Never mind. Thank God.
Okay.
I was gonna say,
That
how
would've been
do you
bad.
get that far behind with Ancient Coin? That is not good. Celios trying to clear the wind wave. Oh, the ultimate in is gonna get pulled back by Zeldin. Gonna try and get away. Does lock up Django, who's gonna secure the kill and drop
Oh.
anyways, just barely. Stelios at least gets one trade in return. Slushy is here. He's gonna try and get the knockback. Gonna get pulled in instead by Zeldin. Hookshot in from Kamabama. Not gonna find anybody. Fight is continuing. Horn gonna be using the ultimate. Lands the Forge God. Already dead for Riker the Peach. Picking up a second kill there onto Talia. Slushy just playing too far forward. Oh, they're gonna land another root as well. Kamabama gets the hookshot out.
With the gold advantage right now, especially as being a team fighting team, the international fields can't really contest with anything right now.
Yeah. At this point, now that all lanes have lost, it's really hard for them to get back into the game. Looking for any sort of fight, I think, is the wrong thing to do. You just want to clear the waves and make sure they can't get at your towers now. I don't know if that's even possible now with the amount of gold that Final Esports is ahead.
As well as the Tristana pick. Tristana's very good for sieging.
Exactly. Just recalled as well. Turned the Zeal into a fully upgraded rapid fire cannon and just about get the Zerker Greaves.
An 8k gold lead as well as wards across the map. They might consider even doing Baron and just straight out pushing mid.
Yeah, with this team comp as well, you could probably do it pretty quickly. Tristana plus Swain, and then you get the additional damage from Olaf on top of that. TSM Batman's 3-0-8, holy crap.
Especially if once they get Baron, the minions do get buffed, and considering on international feeders, they have a Talia, but the problem is Talia went Archangel, so she has a very slow clear as of this moment. She's running she has 185 AP compared to this Swain's 270.
The additional Zonia is really helping there as well. 2-0-5. Taking a look at the gold between the teams, it's a 2k gold lead in the mid lane for that Swain currently. They're going to be hopping on Baron.
Django is perhaps trying to make a good play.
Yeah, he's going to try and keep them off. Does lock them up with the charm. Is going to get the knock up. He can't really make his way out. Call the Forge God. Gonna knock up Little Leaf. It does have the option to go in. He goes in. Is dropping extremely low. Baron just about to die, but they secure the kill onto him. No way to really steal this now as Olaf secures it. Oh, really? TSM Batman flashing with the Righteous Glory, trying to get over. Is going to run after them. Django not going to land the knock up, but unstoppable TSM Batman is going to secure one kill. Is going to get two. The healing is coming through. He's so healthy now. Kamabama going to drop as well. This is going to be the ace for Final Esports and potentially the game, or at least a Baron. All 5 of them are up and they have the Baron buff.
They do have at least 20 seconds on the death time. Gragas does have 6. They're most likely going to end up taking the 2 inhibitors, maybe even a Nexus Tower.
Not sure if they can quite get the Nexus Tower looking at it now, but definitely this and the top inhib are going to be dropping with Tristana's damage. Extremely
really
nice.
On the Baron, Talia didn't really use her Weaver's Wall.
Yeah, definitely a weird one. You really want to zone people out with that one. Little Leaf going in a little bit early as well. He went in around 1800 HP. I think he probably could have waited a bit there, but instead he goes in early and ends up dying before the Baron's even within smite range.
Looks like they end up making their play bot and try to get the triple inhibitors. But with
Yeah.
how it is, it's pretty hard for international defeaters to win because they do have the weaker team comp as of this moment, as well as Jinx getting almost 2 items behind the Tristana.
They were really reliant on getting that sort of mid-game advantage to snowball from it. Kambama. Okay, he's going to make his way out. On that recall from the Baron buff, though, instead of finishing Zerker Greaves, Queef went from the components to Zerker Greaves to just buying a full static Shiv. So he is absolutely massive off of that recall at 23 minutes with 3 completed items.
Looks like the Camille can't really handle Tristana's range.
Decently up in levels now. Level 13 already, out leveling Kamabamo, the solo laner, and Slushy as well.
It's like every single tower around him is just crumbling. They can't seem to really find a play on any of the people perhaps in the mid lane or top lane.
Short of a miracle fight, they really can't do much. At this point, really, I'd try and send all 4 or 5 people down to the bottom lane. Or just on one person to try and secure something, because at this point, you're just going to start bleeding that bottom inhibitor and lose the game.
Looks like Swain could potentially go behind them.
Well, bottom inhibitor falling. This could be the final push here for Final Esports.
With Baron and both super minions on all 3 lanes, it's
oh, Olaf gonna go in. They're gonna use the Call of the Forge God as well. Gonna land the knockup, but not gonna be able to find any kills yet. Django Ultimate's trying to slow them down. The Hextech Ultimatum to get Kamabama out. They're gonna try and find that 1 kill on Django Ultimates, but not gonna find it. They're actually gonna get the Nexus in the end. Game 1 goes over to Final Esports.
very clean game by Final Esports.
Yeah, they really improved on what they'd struggled with in the previous weeks, where they'd get that early advantage and then they'd sort of just falter and not know what to do with it. Here, they got that lead and then they kept their foot on the gas pedal. They took multiple objectives and snowballed out of control.
Yeah, definitely ward problems was definitely prevalent in there. We have the Janna almost getting beaten by Rakan's 46, while Janna has 27. Jinx has being double her vision short by the Tristana. Swain has 27 to 18. And you can see just a giant increase compared to control wards on Final Esports compared to international feeders.
Very nice game for them. That's going to put them up 1-0. We'll be back in just a little bit here for game number 2. Got to set up with the lobby and OBS. We should be back shortly. Throw it to some music and then we will be right back. All right, and we are back here for game number 2 of Final Esports versus International Feeders in the quarterfinals here for the RPL winter season. It was a pretty good game 1 there, Penguin. What did you think of it? What did you think of the team's gameplay?
From what I could see from Final Esports, they seem pretty dominant, picking significantly stronger meta picks, as well as just straight out rotating a team comp that International Feeders picked that was focused more around roaming, but it seems like every single play they did while roaming just got counterplayed by the enemy jungler.
That TSM Batman having a fantastic game on that Olaf. Queef as well. Very dominant on the Tristana. Giovanni going to be banned away again from TSM Batman, and the Nidalee going to be taken away from Little Leaf. Is this a potential run back here? Same bans so far.
It seems like they might end up doing the same bans.
I believe it was a Caitlyn that was in between the J4 and Sejuani for International Feeders last time around, but still the same bans otherwise.
They must think that they have a new game plan that seems to counter. Oh, looks like a Vigra. That's different.
Yeah, there was a lane swap from the last one. Slushy going to be playing ADC for International Feeders, and Castillo's going to be playing mid lane. Guess I forgot about that. Probably should have mentioned that at the start of Champion Select. So potentially the role swap there is what International Feeders need to be winning this one. Taking the Swain away from Zeldin, who had a fantastic showing on that last game. Right, final ban here for Final Esports. Anything you want to take away from them from last game? No, gonna deny the Diana from, I'm assuming, Castillos.
With the two bans directed at the mid laner, they must think that the switch is pretty strong.
I'm wondering if this
Zillion.
I wonder if they swapped more because they thought Castillos would do a good job mid, or if Slushy would do a good job in the bottom lane. Maybe their champion pool matches up better. Nautilus going to be locked in.
Interesting. Don't really see Nautilus was picked anymore, especially with how, in most cases, there's always obviously people joke that he's kind of useless, but that ult is pretty strong. But you have to get to that moment though.
It definitely has its use cases. The question is whether it's top or support. Most recently in pro play, he's been that big tank frontline in the top lane. We'll have to see if Kamabama takes it up there as the Caitlyn and Morgana are locked in on the other side.
That's a very strong balance, especially when Morgana can just land the Q and Caitlyn trap. And with how it is, Caitlyn is able to set up the net with the trap and just deal double headshots and do a massive amount of damage.
I feel like that's a very strong bottom lane is an understatement for this lane. With the slight nerfs to Static Shiv, Caitlyn's not like nearly as oppressive, but Morgana Caitlyn is so hard to deal with because Caitlyn can just hit you from so far away, and when you finally get in range of her, Morgana just drops the black shield on Caitlyn and she can't be CC'd.
Looks like we're seeing the Jin pick.
That's a bit of a risky one to take this early when you don't see the rest of the team comp from Final Esports. They could easily pick a big front line now to deal with that, and Jin's not going to be able to do a whole lot of damage to them.
Lee
Least
Sin is also quite a weird pick, especially when he can't really insight with the Morgana's Black Shield.
fast fingers from Django Ultimus can save anybody who needs it. A fantastic Lee Sin game earlier from Rush on KT Rolster. So maybe Little Leaf looking to replicate that perfect game Final Esports here in the second one. Olaf going to be locked in again for TSM Batman.
Looks like they're expecting the Nautilus to go support.
Banning away the Maokai. It is support. I feel like this is a really bad matchup for that Nautilus. You're already going to be outranged by the Caitlyn, and the Morgana is going to make it even more difficult. So once you do get in, you're not going to be able to actually hold her in place. The Jin can deal his damage.
Looks like a Camille pick or a Camille ban.
I think
Trying
Ron
to try
Swanson
to
can just
ban.
play Ornn again though. You need a big front line to deal with the Jhin. He played fantastic on it in the last game. Died early, but came back very easily from it. So I'm not sure why you'd try and take away the Camille while that's still up.
It might be they feel more confident unless they're gonna pick the ban the Ornn as well. But they're trying to keep that Jin alive.
Braum taken away. So they are really believing that that's a top lane Nautilus rather than support. Vladimir going to be banned away as the final thing that's taken from Final Esports.
Oh, Nara's a very good pick. A lot of cases in top lane, Nara usually just wins the top laner, especially with that percent health damage from his passive and his Q. And it makes it even harder for most tanks to deal with him, especially when he gets the frozen mallet.
Especially if that's a Nautilus in the top lane as well, you just kind of like sit behind your minion wave and Nautilus doesn't really get to walk up because anytime he does, you just slow him down, repeatedly chunk his health. Did get a slight nerf with the changes to Frozen Mallet, so we'll have to see how Ron Swanson decides to build his Gnar. Fresh is going to be picked up, so it looks like double hook champions for international feeders, and it was the Nautilus top lane.
Interesting Thresh pick, I guess, especially against the Morgana.
There was an
Ooh.
old build you could do with Thresh where you'd go for like AP runes and you'd take Spell Thieves and it would instantly break the black shield when you connected a hook. But I don't think it's actually possible to do that anymore since the changes to runes.
This is an they picked Tom. Is this a Tom top and Nautilus mid? Oh,
Okay, look, if this is Nautilus mid, this is the ultimate troll. I've seen it before, and like if you get ahead with it, it's like kind of disgusting because of his one-shot potential.
Thresh mid? Oh, wait, no, it is Nautilus
No,
top.
it's
Apologies.
definitely Nautilus. He's
Yeah.
going to be against Karma, though. That's a ton of poke early. I feel like Tom Kench suffers even more in the top lane as well against the Gnar.
Especially with that team comp, if the Nautilus doesn't really build for much damage, even he can go the AP build, but in overall, they don't really have that much damage.
You're relying on Jhin for most of this, and you have the shielding from Morgana, giant shields from Karma as well, and a big front line in Olaf and Gnar. So I'm not sure how he really ever gets to the back line to kill Kate. This is a really questionable comp from international feeders, but if they pull it off, it's going to be probably one of the most impressive things I've seen for this entire season of RPL.
Yeah, Tom Kench has definitely needs to. It's hard for Tom Kench to really be a front line, especially with that Olaf. Olaf can just go right through the CC and most likely just take all the damage and just go right in the back line on Jin.
Man, this is so weird. I mean, I guess we can go lane by lane here, but a lot of it I just feel like favors Final Esports. They seem to have just won this draft completely, predicting that the Nautilus would be top lane. In the end, it goes mid, but they find just as good of a matchup with the Gnar.
I'm not sure what International Studios is really pushing for. Their win condition is probably focus the Jin, but that's a really risky win condition because you expect the Jin to be like incredibly fed to burst through that front line.
If the Lee Sin can get off really good early ganks mid, I can see this potentially working. But Karma's going to have so much wave clear early that you have to snowball within like the first 3 levels. Otherwise, Zeldin just gets all the agency to roam, get his side lanes ahead, and get his team to the point where they were last game, where they just started running over the comp of international feeders. Plus, the Karma synergy is even better with Olaf, giving them that additional move speed.
Overall, it's really hard, especially when you pick the Morgana. It's just countering both the Hook champions as well as Lee Sin. It's just it was a really good pick from Fall Esports.
So if you're international feeders, what do? The team comps are locked in. You're loading into game. How do you win this game? What do you prioritize? Where do you go?
And most likely for bot lane, it's pretty hard, especially it's hard to really gank a Morgana Caitlyn. So you're at that point, even though your win condition's Jin, you really have a really bad lane up. So in most cases, Lee Sin would probably make a play on the Gnar, hopefully getting an H3 stack on Tom so he can eat the Tom or eat the Gnar and then pick him off. Or maybe try to even rotate mid and try to abuse the Nautilus scaling with auto attacks and just go on the Karma. Or you might even consider even try to counter it. Usually it's a really awkward position by international feeders.
Is a early jungle invade like level 1 enough to potentially turn the laning phase in their favor if they can pick up a couple kills?
Um, and most likely it probably will end up trying to get that Jin ahead. You're trying to keep the Jin from being too abused from the Caitlyn Morgana, and getting that perhaps the first blood would really help him in lane. But in most cases, with having given the 400 go to Tom, it probably won't really switch as much, especially with Nautilus. It's a lot of cases it will probably alleviate most of the hard pressure from the bot lane or press from their lane, but it wouldn't really exactly win it.
No, not necessarily, but they have a good invade comp, so potentially that's what we see them do at the start of this game here. Pause it 5 minutes or 5 seconds. Sorry. Again. All right. I'm paused and ready when you are.
Okay.
3, 2, 1. All right, and we are on to the Rift here for game number 2, Final Esports versus International Feeders. Sorry. Final Esports moving over to the red side for this one after dominating game 1. Very fantastic play from both TSM Batman and Queef.
Looks like Nautilus is going for the AP now, especially with the Executioner and Dorn's ring.
Both teams looking for both an invade and a counter invade as well.
Olaf did not buy his jungle item.
I hope TSM Batman notices that before he can't recall anymore. What if he's playing like the ultimate BM strat because technically his jungle item gives him no advantage in the early fight, so he was just like, yeah, I'm gonna not buy anything. No, he's just
Looks like
completely, he
Olaf.
doesn't even know. They don't even know he's there. Oh god. Ron Swanson getting rooted up is going to be super low. Even a flash away wouldn't save him. Ignite comes down and first blood going over to Little Leaf.
Oh, this is the Nard getting caught out.
Yeah, and isn't Batman still doesn't know that he has no jungle item. He's not going to get level 2 off. Oh, he realized now he's recalling. He's so screwed.
I think he's just gonna say screw it and just go with it. Oh, never mind, he is.
He's not even going to get level 2 off his first camp is the big issue. Has recalled now, and he's going to be losing his red buff as well to Little Leaf. He's actually pathing towards it. Oh, this is a rough start for Final Esports. Exactly what you want if you're international feeders, though.
Gonna go for that early Q.
Oh, rooted up by Slushy. Another binding
Getting
lands.
caught out.
Well, we're 2 for 2 on the bindings, at least for Django Ultimus, so we know he can hit those.
Now you just don't have that land anymore. You get 100% bind rate.
Exactly. Like the 0 damage Tryndamere. I could do a lot of damage. I just choose not to, so I could carry the game.
Looks like bot lane is playing to their champions, pushing out the bot lane.
Yeah, Batman really behind on his first clear here. Started the Raptors, it looks like, and now he's on his blue buff. Little Leaf really needs to make use of this advantage that he's got an early triple buff start. He's really got to make use of this and make sure that he gets his lanes ahead. Otherwise, Slushy is going to become quite useless as the game goes on.
Looks like Lee Sin trying to make commit. Doesn't realize there's a ward there.
Nice trade from Castillos. Breaker does not get binded. First one missed from Django Ultimus, 100% binding rate gone.
Disappointed. But it looks like every lane is playing to what their the champions are. Nari pushing in the Tom Kench. Karma's eventually going to end up pushing the Noslin.
It does have a CS advantage as well, which is really what I expect to come out of this lane, if nothing else. Riker the Peach questionably going in. He's taking a ton of damage. Gonna have to flash away. Oh, Little Leaf misses the Q. Not gonna be able to take that in. Trading in the top lane as well. Ron Swanson just able to run away with the additional movement speed. That bot lane trade was really questionable by Riker the Peach. You really don't want to follow the hook in onto the Morgana because it's so easy for her to just put the black shield on herself and then get free damage onto you. Another hook does land.
Looks like they realized their mistake early on, and now especially seems to not take any more hooks.
Yeah, after you do it the first time and have to blow flash to get away, at least the next one you're not going to take it. Binding goes wide from Django, just trying to zone out Slushy, put down some pressure. Top lane, CS advantage going over to Ron Swanson as expected.
It's like both junglers are indeed just farming. For Lee Sin, it's much more punishing to farm for the sake that you kind of have to really push that early game into your favor.
Yeah, especially with that first kill and the triple buff start he had. Needs to be making the early ganks. Trying to make one in the top lane now. Is not spotted out by a ward. Ron Swanson, gonna have to be careful. Does manage to get the hop away.
Looks like Lee Sin is indeed in a bad position. It's hard for him to really get any ganks across the lane. He really has to play off the mistakes of being overextending by a huge margin.
Batman seems to have caught up fairly well as well. Kamabama level 6 now, trying to get on Ron Swanson. Little hop away, gonna get him to safety. Oh, he does manage to get the eat down. Ron Swanson playing up a bit too far, dropping extremely low. Is just about to get the kill, gonna have to flash away. Kamabama in the middle of minions. Will get to walk away from this.
Lee Sin is considering to go from a gank behind him. Doesn't have level 6 yet.
Does have a ward in his inventory, so can go over the wall. Chooses not to instead. I don't think Lee Sin's actually farmed a camp in the past like 2 or 3 minutes now. He's been at 26 CS for quite a while now.
Yeah, he's getting out-farmed by the Olaf now, especially starting off with a Tiamat as well as getting an extra buff.
Yeah, Little Leaf really kind of wasting the advantage that he had accrued for himself. Red buffs respawn now as well for TSM Batman, so he's going to be able to pick up his first red buff for himself now. Hook landing onto Zeldin. Good trade back from Castillos.
Looks like every lane is indeed behind gold, except for the Thresh, who has definitely got more gold off that golden medallion.
Even with the assists as well and the kill gold, the fact that they're up in gold now, really scary to the side of Final Esports, or sorry, International Feeders. You want to be pushing that early advantage. That's the only way you're going to be able to win this game. Also, it is the AP build for Nautilus, it looks like. Last chapter in the inventory currently for Castilios.
Overall, it just looks like the Lee Sin's just not able to make a single play.
Well, he's trying to make one in the top lane right now. Kamabama gonna get the slow, right in the mid lane as well. Teleport's gonna come in from Django Ultimus, try and save Ron Swanson. Does get the Gnar back, is gonna get a little bit of health in return. Django Ultimus gonna get the root onto Kamabama, very low. Ron Swanson as well, hops over, tries to get the Q, kick away from Little Leaf. Django Ultimus extremely low, and first kill picked up there. Oh, is gonna actually trade it back onto Kamabama. Nicely played by Django, but Resonating Strike secures the double for Little Leaf. Curtain Call onto Queeve, trying to pick up another. Holy crap, that fourth shot just demolishes Caitlyn. Oh,
Looks like
TSM Batman trying to make up for it. Zeldin here as well. Slushy extremely low, is going to fall to, oh no, managed to get the flash away. Hook lands as well. TSM Batman going to try and secure it. Does have one axe left to throw if he can secure it. Lantern going to get him to safety.
Might make the flash, no. There's must have been some. It seems kind of weird with how they engage, especially when Morgana left the Caitlyn to go top lane, and not only did she die with Gnar, also Caitlyn died to the Jhin.
Yeah, definitely should have played a little bit safer, but that last shot on the curtain call just demolished Queef. He had like a third health left.
Yeah, that BS sword definitely putting in work.
I like that more Jins are now going towards the Essence Reaver build rather than that Youmuu's first. Especially in this game, I think it's the right decision. Just find that Youmuu's puts you too far behind early. Well, I guess into the mid game rather, for what it gives you in that early game.
Looks like the gold advantage is now in favor of International Feeders, going over 0.6k above.
Good to see them making the plays. Again, though, most of the kills on to Little Leaf, so he's got to be making a little bit more plays around the map. Warriors completed for him now. Actually has 1,000 gold advantage over Batman right now.
Looks like Lee Sin might try to gain that scuttle for bot lane, getting that ward coverage.
Finding lands onto Riker. Just a little bit of damage traded onto him. As expected, the bot lane in favor currently, other than the kill of Final Esports. Caitlyn racking up that CS advantage over Slushy.
It looks like the Olaf is rotating down bot lane, maybe doing a gromp and potentially even going for the dragon.
That Cloud Drake as well with the changes in, what was that, 2 patches ago? Very nice to pick up for the Olaf with that additional in-combat movement speed. Then turn over the wall, gonna pull Little Leaf in. Gonna be trying to find Queef. Curtain Call does go down, Resonating Strike lands, tries to get in, gets the kick onto Django Ultimus. Is gonna pick up that one kill, and Ragnarok to speed TSM Batman away from the enemy team.
Looks like he realized his mistake a little too late.
It was a nice kick from Little Leaf.
Yeah, definitely playing around the Caitlyn. I think Morgana believed that Lee Sin was gonna go on the Caitlyn, but looks like he got tricked and Lee Sin just kicked the Morgana instead.
Yeah, he'd already blown his flash as well, so I can understand where he was coming from with the black shield, but good reflexes to swap from Caitlyn onto Morgana to secure the kill. Zeldin Zeldin's still farming away in the mid lane. I expect he starts to make some roams now that he's picked up a couple components to his items, sitting on another 1100 gold as well. Might be able to finish Athenes? I don't know. What's the cost on Athenes now? It does finish Athenes.
Yeah. I don't really like Athenes in my opinion. I really like to go for the tier because like once you get into like mid to late game, you're gonna be using your R with combination of all your skills, and you're just gonna keep on spamming that. And especially when you don't have a tier, it's gonna be a big toll on you.
It's not too late yet, but I definitely agree with you that it should have been picked up sooner. Could still go for that, potentially. Looks like Nautilus trying to make a gank into the bottom lane. Is spotted out, though. So they know he's coming. What is Castillo? Oh, go ahead.
Lee Sin should be able to start doing Rift or doing some of these objectives because he needs to push the lane. Like getting kills are fine, but the problem is if you're not doing anything with the kills, you're just gonna end up outscaled, especially with the team comp you have. You're playing a really risky game there.
Yeah, definitely one you gotta be careful with. Blue buff handed over now to Zeldin as well means that he gets just free wave clear in the mid lane. Constantly shove Castillios in and poke him, who's now having to sit under the tower.
Looks like they might consider putting pressure around Dragon as well.
Good one to pick up. Batman now in not too bad of a spot with the completed Cinder Hulk. Recall just completed for Little Leaf. Picks up both Boots of Swiftness and a Longsword and Ruby Crystal. So if there's going to be a fight, he is in a good position for it as well.
Looks like Lee Sin does indeed see what they're doing in his jungle. Ron Thompson doing a little bit of poke.
Both stun lands. Combo Bomb gonna eat him up. Quite a bit of damage. Narback doesn't connect with the wall. Is gonna land the wall up stun. Trying to get Combo Bomb low. Ron Swanson walking away for some reason. Does get the move speed though. Flash is queued before he flashed though, so it's not gonna connect.
Damn.
Oh,
really
Root lands on a Django Ultimus. Nice black binding. Resonating Strike does connect. Gonna flash away, but Little Leaf will secure it. Does kick away TSM Batman and the Curtain Call as well. Gonna try and secure it onto Queef, but will not. Has to cancel it out.
Looks like Olaf didn't have enough reaction to activate the Ragnarok.
Yeah, if he had reacted fast enough, probably could have secured the kill onto Little Leaf.
Seems like this, compared to last game, it seems the whole 180 area play that Batman's team has been doing has always just been countered by the now Little Leaf now.
Yeah, they still have fairly good vision control at the very least, so that stayed from the last game. Combo Bomb going to be using the Abyssal Voyage to get in next to Zeldin. They're going to be trying to dive him. Little Leaf does use the Ward Hop to get in close, taking a lot of damage from Zeldin. 3 members are here. Unstoppable. Olaf going to come in, and Zeldin will secure that kill. The Binding going to land after the Soul Shackles onto Combo Bomb as well, and that's going to be another kill secured onto him. This one taken by Zeldin again for the double kill. Castillios extremely low, having to back off. Just that play backfiring for them there.
That was a 1,000 gold swing, especially with the bounty from the Lee Sin.
Yeah, that was a deep dive for that kill. Especially when you have that kind of a lead, that's a questionable one to pull off.
Looks like the Cloud is going in favor of Final eSports.
Good attempt on the steal from Slushy, but not going to secure it. Angle Ultimus, very low. Slushy going to secure it with a 3rd shot. 4th shot on the TSM Batman to speed him away. Riker is here, does pop down the box. No ultimate from TSM Batman to get him away, and Riker the Peach going to secure that one. Queef trying to back up, putting the shots onto Slushy, but Curtain Call, double kill secured by Riker, says, I'm the ADC now.
Looks like the Curtain Call was unneeded there. Did not need to waste that.
Yeah, I think Riker probably could have handed that one over. Securing the one onto TSM Batman, I think, was accidental, but still 2 kills for their bot lane nonetheless.
Looks like international feeders are now reaching their win condition, getting that Jin super ahead, reaching almost, yeah, and it's almost completely 1k gold lead of the Caitlyn.
And the top lane, Ron Swanson taking tons of damage as well. Kamabama gonna be trying to secure it. Nice hop away will get him to safety. Zeldin as well, almost killing Castillos in the mid lane. Has to use the ultimate to get himself out. Django Ultimus is up in the top lane. Kamabama gonna get ulted by the Soul Shackles. Gonna try and pick up Django Ultimus. Will get Nard into the wall. TSM Batman here as well. Does use the Predator and gonna be trying to get Kamabama down. Ron Swanson extremely low. Will hop away. Does get eaten. Oh my god, so close. Kamabama just about secures that one to trade 1 for 1.
I think that trade was a little. As much as you wasted, what you wasted was Gnar ulti as well as having 3 people top, and that just pretty much gave international feeders a free mid tower.
Yeah, getting it extremely low now. Slushy with the completed Essence Reaver really starting to do damage.
They really have to be careful with what they do now, especially with Gnar without his ulti. He can't really do much in terms of these team fights, and if Jin really gets into their backline, it's just over with how much damage he's now doing, especially with the 30% crit chance.
I actually think Ron Swanson could be winning this matchup on his own, but the way he's taking the trades with Kamabama, he's really just letting Kamabama get the damage onto him. He lets him get the stacks. He doesn't avoid any of the Qs from him. He just takes so much damage from the W.
Looks like they're gonna take the Rift Herald.
Yeah, so another neutral objective at least secured for Final Esports. Still pretty even in gold. It's not really what you want for international feeders, though. You really want to be ahead by quite a large amount.
They definitely need to start taking these towers down, especially with how the Jin is. You can just
Flash hook gonna miss. Little Leaf trying to get under the tower, does get the kick out onto Zeldin, is gonna be staying alive currently. Unstoppable TSM Batman gonna secure 1 kill, but Slushy just zooming around the fight, gonna get one back.
Looks like Nautilus missed the Q.
Not sure where Django was putting that binding, but does use the Soul Shackles to try and pick up Nautilus. He's gonna get eaten up.
Walk out. Looks like Karma with the Loot and Echo has insane wave clear.
Poke does land on Django. Gets the Black Shield to keep himself safe. Super low mid tower.
Seems like a lot of cases where they end up getting kills, they just can't seem to get the objective. It might be because of just how their team comp is. Not really the strongest sieges.
Yeah, especially where your only real consistent damage is Jin as well. And he has that reload mechanic. You have like this really short window to actually play with your damage.
Yeah, especially when now you team fight, you really have to like hardcore win those team fights. Because like 1-for-1 trading is just gonna you're gonna end up stalling the game out longer, and with how Olaf will end up scaling, you don't really want Olaf to scale at a point where he's able just to 1v1 the Jin.
They pop the Rift Herald? I think TSM Batman was trying to ward. He was definitely trying to ward. That's a big oopsie. Rift Herald in the mid lane now gonna get completely wasted as is dropped by the team of international feeders. That's unfortunate. Can't say I haven't done that myself though.
It looks like Final Esports is gonna just play the stall game, try to see eventually at a point where they can just scale up, take advantage of the Karma, which most likely would end up going Ardent, and just getting those massive AP shields with the scaling from Caitlyn as well as Olaf into a late game, and then like the weakening of both the Gnarly.
Oh, Zeldin gonna get knocked up as well as Django Ultimus, both extremely low. Castillo is gonna pop the stopwatch to keep himself safe, very low as well. Batman going in with the Ragnarok, trying to find something, but not gonna be able to quite pick anything up. Little Leaf dropping low. Oh, the Gnar away from Ron Swanson, gonna get Castillo's to safety, will just about fall, gonna drop to Caitlyn. Literally back over the wall, will secure a kill onto TSM Batman. Kamabama here now with the Abyssal Voyage. They're going to be going in again, trying to pick up the kills here. Root doesn't quite land onto Queef, but that tower should easily fall now.
Looks like that team fight did not really work out. It felt like it was too forced, especially when how the Olaf just ran in front of all their damage. At a point where when Olaf started hitting targets, they had the DPS in the backline wasn't able to get there in time. Especially with the Gnar who end up, I believe he flashed it and he R'd wrong.
Yeah, he actually pushed Castillo's to safety. If it had been the other direction, maybe it would have gone better. Batman as well hesitated. He went in and then he backed up again halfway up the lane. I think if he'd fully committed, maybe it would have worked out better. Unfortunate fight for them though, and this pushes International Feeders up 3k gold now.
Looks like they might end up trading the mid towers for it.
They at least will trade the mid towers even. Rectify a little bit of the gold. Just can't help but get the feeling out of my head that we're kind of on like a ticking time bomb here. Eventually Caitlyn is going to hit the item break points that she needs, and I don't know how International Feeders is going to take those team fights then.
Looks like they're trying to end up playing the mistake of Final Esports to really make those mistakes, especially when the Olaf goes in too far and have the Jhin burst it down.
Dragon gonna be started by International Feeders. This will be to equalize the Cloud Drake.
Looks like most of the gold in mid lane went to the Karma. Karma is indeed ahead.
Ooh, Batman caught out, uses the Ragnarok to try and get away. Very low. Depth charge just about secures it, but Slushy snipes it away with the curtain call.
They do have the opportunity due to Baron.
Yeah, the jungler's down now. Batman's away for another 30 seconds. They can easily take this. Ron Swanson on the bottom side does have TP. Is going to be TPing in. They lock up Kamabama. They're peeled off the Baron, so at least they've gotten them off that. Ron Swanson does transform into Mega Gnar. Uses the Gnar back, only gets 2. Django Ultimus way too deep, ends up falling. Zeldin taking tons of damage from Slushy as Queef tries to get away from Kamabama. Oh, the root does land onto Zeldin, and the pull in. Resonating Strike gonna secure it. They do at least trade for the Lee Sin. Ooh. Slushy with tons of damage. That's the 4th shot available.
Oh. Looks like they did have the opportunity to do Baron again.
The jungler down does make it a little bit riskier, so they at least stop the Baron.
No, I think of course they seem to be like over forcing their every single team fight that Final was doing. Like especially when you can't just haphazardly have the Olaf just pushed in with the Gnar and then expect the play to work. Especially with how Morgana didn't even use her her stopwatch. Yeah. To really just stun the backline.
Yeah, it died before she could even get it off, so not sure if that was just an error on Django's part or just got CC'd into death, but needs to be making sure to get that off, as that's really the only way you're going to get that Soul Shackle onto the enemy team.
Like Karma's gonna build into that rabbit hole. It's really quite weird. I will say, like when you see Karma mids, you don't really see them go full AP, because with their AOE buffs, you can definitely get the
Ardent Sensor.
Yeah, Ardent Sensor, yeah, sorry. Get the Ardent Sensor, just buff up your auto attack champions, especially when you have Caitlyn, Olaf, and Gnar.
Yeah, well, international feeders on the Baron again. Gonna be trying to pull off. Django Ultimus does fall to Kamabama. TSM Batman very low, will end up falling. They trade at least one onto the Nautilus. Ron Swanson jumping in, goes for the huge Gnar, only connects with Little Leaf, doesn't actually stun him up. Slushy just putting out damage, secures the second kill there onto Ron Swanson. Gonna be trying to pick up another onto Zeldin. Fancy Feet juking away from the curtain call. Will manage to make it out. Resonating Strike dodged away by Queef. Slowed up by Riker the Peach with the exhaust. Flash over the wall to get him to safety.
Probably something is wrong with the Gnar.
Oh,
looks like they're gonna get the leads in.
Okay, well, no wards. This one's to you, Tracker's Knife.
Yeah, but with how Ron Swanson's playing, his All-Star has been really underperforming in every single team fight so far.
In that one, it looked like it was about to be the perfect ultimate, and then I'm not sure if he just hesitated or if he got briefly CC'd, but he misses the ultimate again there, where he could have almost had 4 people into the wall. Holy crap, Django.
Again.
2 autos from Jin just about kills him. Does go in, but he gets... Oh my gosh. Caitlyn with the damage in return. Kamabama flashes in, is going to miss the tongue lashes. It's secured instead by Kamabama. Does lock up Queef, who will fall to the triple kill from Castilios. Is he looking for the pento kill here? Trying to get one onto TSM Batman, but not going to get it as the Ragnarok comes out. Riker the Peach gets flashed on by Batman for some unknown reason.
A little unneeded, but I guess it works out.
Styling on these fools with the extra flash there. Thought for sure that was going to be the penta for Castilios.
Looks like it's a mispositioning from the Jin, walking into the trap and just getting one-shotted by the Caitlyn.
Yeah, that was a questionable play too. He was set up to do quite a bit of damage there as well, but stepping on that trap just absolutely destroyed him.
Oddly enough, Lee Sin was indeed not with them. If Lee Sin was there, it would have been really bad for Final Esports.
A pretty bloody game that we have currently. 50k to 48k, sorry, 51k, I guess, to 49k. Gold currently 22 kills to 13. 30 minutes into this game now. Caitlyn's starting to hit item breakpoints.
Looks like Inferno is the next dragon coming up, but it looks like they're trying to put more pressure on Baron, hopefully for the enemy team to go do Inferno while they take Baron.
I think if you're Final Esports, that's a worthwhile trade. You have a ton of wave clear with the Karma and the Caitlyn, and that Infernal Drake is going to put you so far ahead heading into the late game, especially denying that damage boost to Jin, who stacks from it so efficiently.
Yeah, especially with international feeders, they don't really have the best sieging comp. They're mostly going for looking for the mistakes and just punishing it. But with
Oh, it's a Mountain Drake actually. That's not an Infernal.
Oh, looks like my screen is bugged. It shows Inferno Drake. Interesting.
Rito, please fixed.
My bad.
No worries. That's not as important then to trade then. I would definitely try and focus on this Baron here. It does end up falling in the bottom lane to Ron Swanson. Nobody answers him. He has the TP available. 5-man push in the mid lane here. Oh, they do find the hook onto Zeldin. Going to be dropping extremely low. The death charge just about securing it. Gets the shield in time. Batman is here with the Ragnarok. Castilios goes golden and drops instantly afterwards. The curtain call going to have to be canceled early. Batman going in. No Ragnarok available. Slushy going to be 8. Hook not going to really connect because of the black shield. Django Ultimus flash in and instantly pops the Zanyas. Everybody just walks out of the soul shackles. Little Leaf extremely low. Body block from Kamabama going to save him.
Pretty interesting with the Morgana. Morgana did not have the Zonias there. It pretty much just lost all your bindings with the enemy team.
Yeah, if Django had just kept running forward, I think they probably would have gotten at least another 2 or 3 kills there. Instead, they swap off to the Baron here. No real ultimates available. Are going to get hooked in, try and jump away. Little Leaf just about to fall. He really can't contest this anymore as Queef does try and follow him and picks up the kill. There's no steal available now from the Smite. Castilios has respawned.
In this situation...
Holy crap, Django. Kamabama is caught out after the binding. Going to get pulled away with the Lantern. Slow going to land under Riker the Peach. Django trying to get in there with Batman, extremely low as well. Ron Swanson about to transform, ends up falling to Castilios as he gets here just in time. Queef very low, picked up by Slushy over the wall. The rapid fire giving him enough range. Flashes for another kill to get the double, the triple kill from Castilios. That's going to be an ace for International Feeders.
Looks like the Nautilus is doing a lot of work, especially when he got that ulti off, knocking off everybody on their team, especially when he's going AP. He just one-shotted most of the low targets.
Yeah, very nice from them. Castilios just in time as well, returning from the base. Means that they secure at least the one tower in the mid lane and probably this Baron as well, as Batman's not up for another 11 seconds.
Looks like Final Esports definitely took the fight way too hard, especially when you just got the Lee Sin. You don't really want to chase them afterwards. Especially when the Nautilus is coming up. Once you have done Baron, you know that two of your targets are perhaps really low from the Baron. So taking it was really greedy of them.
Soul Shackle is used just to lock Castilios up. Ragnarok as well from Batman. Kind of questionable. The Curtain Call is traded in return, so they'll at least pick that one up.
Might rotate into Mountain Drake.
Banner of Command was purchased by Riker the Peach just there. I think that's a questionable buy against Caitlyn, who's found Kamabama, trying to put the damage down onto him. The binding does land. That's going to be a kill picked up easily for Queef. Lantern not there in time to save him. Pulling the dragon out. This will put a little bit of a stall on the Baron buff now that they've knocked Castilios down and Kamabama. Little Leaf tries to go for the steal, not gonna find it. Slashy, so much damage.
Yeah, especially with the rapid fire IE, with Essence Reaver, you have almost a guarantee crit on every single auto.
Yeah, with that last item, looks like he's probably gonna be going for a last whisper, I imagine. With the QSS as well, as long as Slushy can stay in the back line and just fire away, it's a scary Jhin to walk into at 9-1-15.
Looks like Caitlyn is actually not that far behind. She's only 1k behind at this point of the game.
Overall, gold pretty even in most roles. 13k to 10k in the jungle though. Little Leaf just absolutely dominating Batman in this game after that level 1 invade.
There's still not a single Artisan sensor, which is really weird, especially with how Final Esports team comp is.
International Feeders pushing this bot lane. Ron Swanson is here, about to go Mega. Vissel Voyage gonna get him in behind him. Ron Swanson actually has to hop away as he goes Mega. Django Ultimus popping the Zhonya's on the side, gonna be falling to... Oh no, actually gets the binding and flash away, gonna stay alive. Castilios will pick up Ron Swanson. Batman gonna be extremely low as well. Slushy gonna pick up Batman and the tower now. They're pushing in for this inhibitor, 5 alive still.
I think Final Esports is... they're not really holding back. They keep on team fighting the already ahead backline of Jhin. It's also the really strong knowledge who can just one-shot Caitlyn or just put her out of commission. But what they should be doing is really just stalling the game out. You just want to scale harder.
Yeah, but they went for the fight now. They've lost an inhibitor and 1 Nexus tower. Double banner minions in the base. Holy crap, that's a lot of damage from those. We'll try and secure the mid lane inhibitor as well, which they will get the tower for at least. And gonna rotate top, just securing tower after tower.
Big minion wave top as well.
A triple cannon Don't imagine they'll try for anything. Batman does use the Ragnarok and the Righteous Glory. Going to be trying to catch Kamabama, but he's just walking away with the Dead Man's.
Not landing those axes, just with the Deadman's play, Tompkins can easily get out of there.
Overall, a pretty good Baron push from International feeders. Don't quite secure the game though, so there is a singular chance, I believe, still for Final eSports to potentially take the victory in this game.
They really have to rely on being able to peel out the front line and hoping that your front line is able to survive the Jhin.
Yeah, with the current build for Ron Swanson, I feel like the Frozen Mallet was unnecessary. I think just with the Black Cleaver, he would have been fine in the matchup against Kamabama, but he has so little armor now that he's actually taking a fair amount of damage from Slushy, who's now completed the Lord Dominix.
Looks like now they're going to try to siege down the mid inhibitor. Maybe even eventually move up and do the top inhibitor later on.
Just trying to poke it down. Minions have arrived. I believe repeatedly landing the resonating strikes, but nobody's going to go in for a fight quite yet. Trapline dissuading them. Stelios fishing for champions and finds nobody. So much wave clear on the side of Final eSports.
Looks like now they have the ban. Oh, it's just going to fall down. I think they now realize that they need to get the top lane pushing as well. They can't really siege with the Caitlyn right near the inhibitor. They definitely need like some type of lane to also push in to distract some of their members.
You have both Teleport and Abyssal Voyage available, so I don't know why Kamabama didn't just go to a side lane to begin with anyways. Definitely hard to siege with your current team comp though. So little wave clear. Queef, ooh. Getting some damage onto Slushy. Both Knight's Vow and Zeke's Convergence on Riker the Peach to try and give Slushy every advantage he can. Done some good damage out though, getting the inhibitor low, now that the traps are no longer in place from Caitlyn. Resonating Strike goes wide. Binding does land onto Slushy, but it gets eaten up by Kamabama.
Looks like just continuous trading. Those Caitlyn traps definitely warding off the international feeders.
Yeah, certainly giving them a little bit of a hand in keeping their base safe. I think if they'd started doing this earlier, they'd be in a much better position. 8k gold down currently. Still needs to get a couple items for a few of their members.
Looks like they're going to start transitioning into Baron.
The Baron is up here in 2 seconds. Dragon about to spawn as well, which is the Elder. Currently just going to be on the Baron though. Health is down to 9k already, melting this pretty quickly. They did get vision of it so that they know it's there. Batman does have flash available in just a couple seconds. Is it going to be soon enough though? Down to... It's going to drop. Secured by Kamabama.
There's something weird because there was no wards placed into Baron pit, so they had no vision of the Baron.
Yeah, Batman also had 2 control wards, so he easily could have placed some.
It looks like they're eventually going to start getting the Inferno, and that's going to be really devastating.
See, the Baron, I think they still potentially could have come back from, but heading towards the Elder now as well. Slushy trying to put some damage in. Ragnarok going to have to be burned by Batman. That's super big cooldown to lose.
Looks like they're going to have to deal with the 45. Darius is going behind them, trying to protect the base.
They're just trying to clear the minions out. Does have the teleport available. Kamabama dropping low. If he can build up the Narbar and get a good teleport in, potentially they can salvage this fight. Is trying to build it up right now on the minion wave.
Looks Looks like they are backing. This might just leave up Elder Drake just for them to take.
Well, Combo Bomb at least does have teleport, but Slushy back as well. I don't think they know that they've recalled. This is the perfect opportunity for them to take this, but they're not actually going to get it. Kind of dancing around the Elder Dragon instead.
Did they not realize that they already left?
They must not have. They don't have complete vision control of the Elder, so potentially that's why. They had more than enough time to rush that down, though, if Queef had just come there instead of clearing the 6 minions in the side lane. Instead now, full team set up around the Elder again, fully healed.
Looks like they're trying to pressure mid and eventually maybe even attempt to get the Elder Drake after they rotate there.
They're all rotating mid, so not going to be really in place in time. They do actually manage to make it. Binding goes wide.
Looks like the Baron is really hard for Caitlyn to proc it, or proc her crits over it.
Ragnarok again expent by Batman early. Really didn't need to use it. The inhibitor already down. Really shaky play from him in the late game.
Django is mispositioned. Oh, the Black Shield saving her.
Yeah, very nicely timed with the Black Shield.
And this potentially might just be a free Elder.
You've already given up the Baron, now you're going to give up the Inhibitor and potentially the Elder as well. Morgana currently in the base does have teleport, going to be TPing to the minions. Slushy has backed off, so they're at least going to get position around it.
Morgana teleported a little bit early.
Just kind of dancing around it again. They are actually going to start it up for Final Esports. Baron's still ticking down.
They don't even realize it.
There's not much left on the Baron buff. If they secure this Elder, literally going to potentially try for the steal. Does get the Resonating Strike. He goes in late, though. He's going to end up dropping. That's a kill over for Final Esports. This could be what they need to turn the game around.
Especially with at this moment, Baron buff is eventually going to end. Now we have a devastating poke lane, and then you have a team comp that doesn't really wave clear as well. So if they really take effectiveness of this Elder Drake, it will be really hard for them to just stop the push from Final Esports.
The indecisiveness and unwillingness to engage from international feeders could be what ends up costing them this game. They're going to be taking this tower down. Queef with tons of damage now, just slamming the towers.
Always R&D pushing. Bot lane might be going to be stalled for a little bit, but overall, they can start rotating top and try to get that top tower as well.
Kamabama is already walking towards the minions, but Django flashes forwards onto the rest of the team. Kamabama might be caught out. I don't think they know he's there. He's going to make it away. Manages to juke out the binding. They do have a big minion wave here. Hook going to go wide from Castillos. Does connect from Thresh, but going to be cleansed away by Zeldin. They're so careful not to get hit by the hooks, and if they do, just get out of it immediately. Ron Swanson close to teleporting as the curtain call comes down. Out to go Mega here. Still just trying to sit around the tower and keep Queef safe. They are going to back off, actually. Recall, reset, and clear the waves.
Looks like all of them might be able to just finally get into their late game build. We have Caitlyn with holding 3k. Yep, definitely getting that. Now Caitlyn does indeed have a full build, getting her last whisper, and now gonna eventually be able to burst through the full. Actually, yeah, every single member on International Feeders have a build build armor, so this will be a really strong buy for Caitlyn.
Yeah, I'm confused why everybody's building Deadmans as well. It was turned into more of a fighter item, so it's not really as good of a tank item. I would have rather have seen something like a Sunfire or even a Thornmail for Ron Swanson. I can see it from Kamabama potentially simply where he wants to be able to save the Jhin if he has to and get that additional move speed.
Oh, looks like Karma has now finally got the Ardent Sensor. So that would
Woo!
really up their damage.
Karma coming in strong finally. Saving your sanity with that Ardent Sensor. It's just so hard for international feeders to actually push in. Baron buff is already about to respawn again after that push. Not a whole lot that really happened after that. They secured that mid lane inhibitor, but it's close to respawning again now.
We might even see a Baron. Oh,
Again, Ragnarok blown by Batman when he was safe.
hmm. At least the Ragnar has indeed a very low cooldown, so it's not that punishing.
Yeah. I still think he should be trying to hold it at least a little bit more. If a fight breaks out right now, he's in a really disadvantageous position. Django Ultimus playing up front, does land the Dark Binding. Gonna land the pull onto Ron Swanson, who's gonna hop away, about to go Mega. Has the flash available, hook lands onto Batman. Trying to get away, Redemption lands, Castillo's over the wall, trying to pick up Queef. Isn't gonna quite get it, goes Golden, the Meganar onto one. Little Leaf in the back line, gonna try and flash and knock Queef back, but not gonna get him far enough. Slushy in the front line, gonna be picked up by Kamabama, gonna spit out again. Gonna get stunned up. This is gonna be a triple now for the side of Final Esports. They picked up three. They're going to try and find a fourth. Flash away from Riker. Does drop the box to try and keep Slushy safe, but just about to fall. The ace in the hole, not going to find him. Is firing away. Ron Swanson extremely low. Is going to pick up a double kill there. Queef flashing over the wall to try and secure the final kill. Slushy extremely low. Will trade lives, and Zeldin the only one left alive with a triple kill from Slushy.
Looks like a very deadly team fight. Both sides almost getting acing each other with the 60-second death timers.
Kind of a funny fight in the end. Zeldin just barely managing to survive. Queef, I think if he'd flashed over the wall a bit earlier, maybe would have been able to secure it, but I think he lost vision on Slushy when he went into the bush.
Yeah, especially in that team fight, there was a lot of aggressive plays, especially when the Nautilus flashed over the wall and went for it, trying to get that one shot on the Caitlyn, and also the Lee Sin who tried to also insta.
Yeah,
But
a little aggressive from both sides though, so.
they probably should have just went away with that win instead of just keep on chasing the Jin.
Yeah,
Baron
as
was
well,
up, so
as well with Queef on the. I think if Queef had been with them, it would have worked out a lot better. But him having to make it over the wall to actually get the damage onto him is what really ruined that fight for them.
looks like they might potentially start doing the third Baron of this match. 50 minutes on the clock.
Still not full items yet for Batman. Doesn't have nearly enough gold yet for it. Dragon's going to be spawning again in a minute and 45 seconds. Not sure at this point what really they're stalling for on the side of Final Esports. Pretty much all your champions that need the full build are at the full build.
I guess they're really trying to get that Jin out. Perhaps from a flank maybe by the Olaf.
Slushy no boots now as well. Has gone for full crit build now. He's going to be dealing massive damage, but if he's not hitting off autos, he's going to be so slow.
Looks like they definitely should do Baron or some type of play. Because in most cases right now, they're just dancing around.
And most of the vision cleared as well around the Baron from Final Esports. Now that people are not able to just pick up control wards anymore, a lot harder to keep that vision. Full inventory now for Riker the Peach. Still control wards for Django.
Looks like they're trying to find a mistake on Final Esports. Maybe even try to get perhaps one of the wave killers like Caitlyn and Karma.
At this point, 52 minutes into the game, 1 kill probably is what, 65, 70-second respawn timer? So just securing the 1 kill might be enough to win the game as well. Have to be really careful of Castillo's engage. Elder Dragon gonna spawn now as well, so there's gonna be 2 objectives on the map. Looks like International Feeders are gonna be rushing it. Yeah, they have started it up. They're gonna be trying to rush this down. Final Esports is gonna come up on them though.
Well, with this grouping, is if they position correctly, this grouping could really hurt International Feeder.
Dropping somewhat low. The curtain call gonna come down. Gonna be trying to fire shots off. Not gonna secure anybody with it. Dragon extremely low, but Final Esports taking position around it now. Hook lands onto Batman. Gonna hold the Ragnarok this time for once. Ron Swanson about to go Mega. Redemption coming down for the heal. Little Leaf looks for it, does miss the steal. The Nara into the wall. Castillo's going to be dropping. Kamabama does manage to get the eat onto him. Django flashes in with the Soul Shackles. Going to go golden again a little bit too early. Not going to pick up kills onto anybody. No move speed from the Jin because he has no boots, but gets the Lantern away to safety. Zeldin speeding everybody up with them. Trying to get them in close. Hook gonna land onto Zeldin, gonna cleanse it away. Kamabama gonna be rooted up. The Lantern's there for him to get to safety and just barely gonna make it. Elder Dragon secured by Final Esports.
Looks like they could even go for the option of getting the Baron. Right now, I don't think they really have the time to just clear mid-wave and get an inhibitor. They should definitely go
Somebody
for the
needs to
Baron
clear
right
the
now.
top wave though. There's a massive minion wave. Again, questionable plays from both. I didn't actually see that they'd picked up Castillo's. I thought he was safe in Tom Kench's belly, but I guess the burn from red buff or something must have killed him. Oh, Kamabama caught out. He's just going to die here. There's no way he can get away from this.
Maybe the Thresh Lantern could save him.
Potentially. Everybody's on top of it, though, and the Dark Binding comes up again before he's able to actually walk over to it after the trap.
This might just be a free Baron for Final Esports.
This is Baron and Elder. The curtain call going to come down, trying to find it onto Django Ultimus. Just about secures them. They're trying to find their way in. Django very low. The binding lands onto Slushy. Super close to being dead. He's suspended the 4-shot. Queef going to secure it onto Slushy. This could be the game-winning fight here from Final Esports. They're going to secure 2 onto the Caitlyn. The Ace in the hole trying to find Riker the Peach. Flashing after him with the slow from the Righteous Glory. Does get knocked up from Depth Charge, but that's going to be the 3rd kill of the fight picked up there. And Django Ultimus teleporting for the bottom inhibitor.
This might be just the end. We have 60 seconds on the enemy timer. It's only Nautilus there. You can't wave clear this.
Even if you kill Queef with a one-shot here, I don't think you can stop them from winning the game here.
That looks like it's over.
Almost 60-minute absolute slugfest. Final Esports going to come back from what was an extremely shaky game for them to find the win here. Not necessarily something to be proud of, but a win on the series nonetheless. And if they can play like game 1, hopefully the rest of their playoffs will be good.
Yeah, Final Esports definitely winning that fight after Jin just got Q-binded. I think he was a little late on his teammates supporting him and eventually end up saving him. But it looks like the Caitlyn auto-critted and just did half his health.
Yeah, that was a crazy game in general, though. Finally, Final Esports realized their win condition and they just started setting up the Kate traps and wave clearing anytime that international feeders came up. There was no real way for them to contest with it either. Eventually, they just found the team fight that worked and they managed to win the game off of that. All right, well, that is going to do it for us this evening. With that win, international feeders will be knocked out of the playoffs and Final Esports will be moving on to play Cetra Gaming next week. Thank you for casting, Penguin. Do you have any final words?
Thanks for having me.
All right, and we will see you again next week. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in, and have a good night.